Hello, my name is Laura. I am currently a postgraduate journalism student at Robert Gordon University in Aberdeen, and I thought I'd make a short video just to detail my journey and story with scoliosis. So I was first diagnosed with scoliosis aged about 14 years old, and it first came to light when I was in a PE lesson and someone had a look at my shoulder blades and noticed that one of them was more prominent than the other. I remember going home that night and telling my mum. She then took a look at my back, and that was when we first noticed that something wasn't quite right. So we made an appointment with the GP, went along to the GP. They had a look at my back and agreed that it looked like something wasn't quite right there. They felt that it was a case of scoliosis. So what we did was we got referred to the Aberdeen Royal Infirmary, the Children's Aberdeen Royal Infirmary, and that's where I got my first x-rays of my back done. And then it was determined that I did in fact have a case of scoliosis. Now, the type of scoliosis that I had was one called idiopathic scoliosis, and essentially what that means is that there's no known cause for why this occurs. It's just one of those things that happens, unfortunately. And my case was quite bad. By the time I was at Aberdeen Royal Infirmary, it was already about 60 degrees, if I remember correctly. They then referred me to the Edinburgh Sick Kids Hospital. They have a spinal unit down there, and that's when I first got to meet Mr. Thanos Sinikos, or Dr. Thanos Sinikos as I should say. He was the surgeon that eventually straightened my back. So by the time I was referred to there, the scoliosis was already pretty bad. I got seen there by Mr. Sinikos, a few x-rays done, consultation done, and eventually it was decided that there was no other option other than to have the surgery to straighten my spine, which would require putting titanium rods and bolts down my spine and essentially straightening it all out. Unfortunately, there was quite a wait for my surgery. I think I waited a good 9-10 months at least. It seemed like a very long time. I can't remember exactly how long it was. But during that time, I was growing taller, and unfortunately the taller I got, the more curved my spine got. By the time I had the surgery, my spine had progressed to a 110-degree curve. So if you want to know what that looks like, look no further than this x-ray here. This x-ray was taken just before my surgery to straighten my spine, and as you can see, it's pretty curved. The funny thing about this was that it wasn't painful. The most uncomfortable thing about this was perhaps just the way it looked for me. Obviously being a teenager, being 15 years old, your looks are an important thing, and obviously having this curvature of the spine wasn't ideal, and it looked almost as like a hunchback. So I was quite excited, for want of a better word, to finally get the surgery done. I remember I had a date booked for October the 19th, 2010. That was when I had my surgery done. I remember going down to Edinburgh on the Sunday night. I remember travelling down from Dundee to go down to Edinburgh to get the surgery. We booked ourselves into a hotel on the Sunday night. Kind of just tried to be as relaxed as possible. The Monday, the day before the surgery, it was basically a day of just having tests done, having the sort of pre-operation routine. I remember we went out for a meal at Pizza Express in Edinburgh, just trying to calm the nerves. And then the night before I stayed in the hospital overnight to get myself settled. The day of the surgery, I remember being woken up, got the anaesthetic, etc. and then got wheeled into the operation room. Of course I don't remember anything about that. The surgery was 12 hours long, so quite a lengthy surgery. It involved going in from the front and back, which because my curve was so severe, what they did was they removed a rib, used it as a bone graft, took up all the vertebrae in between the spine, straightened it, put the titanium rods in, etc. And the end result was this one here. As you can see, there's the 2 metal rods down there and all the bolts holding the spine together, so I'm all held together by titanium rods, essentially. I remember I was in hospital for 2 weeks after the surgery. I was in intensive care for 1 week, and then the general ward for the week after. I was released, for want of a better word, let go into the world exactly 2 weeks after my surgery. I remember returning home to Aberdeen. It was snowy, it was cold, and it was difficult after the surgery just to kind of get used to the new back, get used to the new everything. I was off school for a wee while as well, so I was missing the preparations for my standard grade prelims, which I was a bit stressed about. So it was a difficult time overall, but without that surgery, without having it done, I don't know where I would be now. I wouldn't have had the opportunities to do everything that I have since. I've studied abroad, I've went to university, I'm now graduated university, now doing a postgraduate course at RGU, and without this surgery I would not have been able to achieve all of that. So okay, it was a difficult thing to go through, but it was incredible, the end result, and it has made my life so much better than what it would have been if I hadn't got the surgery. So that's just a brief story of my own scoliosis journey. If anyone has their own story to tell, their own journey that they'd wish to speak about, feel free to leave a message in the comments or speak to me directly. I'd be more than happy to hear your story and swap notes. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video.